Well, good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back once again to Fat Cat Collections. Today, guys, a little bit different kind of setup here. I wanted to film this video right before my clock goes off here, right before 2 o'clock. So, again, if you haven't guessed it, the video is about my new gift I got from my mom and dad for Christmas. It is something that I knew I wanted, and they were nice enough to get it for me. This is a Bulova wall clock. So you guys know, oh, and while we're doing this video, you'll hear it go off, and I'll shut up when it goes off. I have it set to New Westminster. Has 4 different settings. You can set it to Bim Bam, I believe, New Westminster, 4x4, and Ave Maria, I believe. I have it set on New West. I really, I've always been fascinated with the way that clocks sound when you hear them in, like, you know, movies. I don't know, I can't really place a movie right now, but, you know, I can just kind of picture, like, I don't know, don't quote me on this, but like the Addams Family, or some really old house with this big, beautiful grandfather clock, and just hearing it go off with the bells and the sound it makes, just radiating throughout the house. So obviously, I don't have a big, giant, old house, but you know, I want to have that sound in my own house. And just something really classy about New Westminster. So, being a watch guy myself, I wanted to add a clock. This is my second clock. I have 3 in my collection now. I don't foresee me having hundreds like watches, but because, you know, wall space is something you have to think about. And, you know, when it comes to decorating, there we go. Nope, oh, it's my phone, sorry. You'll hear it in a second. So, I don't want you guys to have me interrupt it, but, you know, you can very quickly over clutter something, you know, and again, to each their own, decorate how you want, always do it. There you go. I'll just shut up. Alright, so that's it. So continue on. So, alright, so you heard it play the New Westminster, and then it chimed twice for 2 o'clock. Pretty cool. It'll actually, this is new to me. I didn't know how, you know, clocks worked or anything like that. So this thing, in the setting it's in New Westminster, it'll actually chime the New Westminster sound on the hour, and then for every hour, it'll chime a set number of chimes, or let's say it's 2 o'clock, it'll chime an extra 2 bells or 2 rings. 3 o'clock, 3. So you always know what time it is without actually having to look at anything, which is pretty cool. If you set it to 4x4, I believe it does the same thing, but it'll actually chime every 15 minutes with a different chime, I believe. I have it set in this setting. This is my favorite one. It does have the ability to turn it in night mode, so at, I believe, 11 p.m. to 5:45 a.m. it won't ring at all, which is great, so it doesn't wake you up. It does have a volume control in the back, and it does have a test button, so you can actually test it to hear the chime without actually having to wait around for it to go off. One thing to be noted, if you do get this one, and as far as the model here, I'm not going to read you all the specifics, just going to give you guys my experience with it. This is called the Cranbrook. So price on this, and model number C3542. Price on this, and I will link as always in the description of the videos, price is going to run you for about $120 to $150. From all the ones I looked at, you know, going through Amazon and eBay, I think it's really the best bang for buck. I like the fact it's all like it's all hard wood. It's a fake walnut, but it looks fantastic. On the back side, I'm not going to take it off the wall, of course, to show you the settings and all that. But again, you have to switch 4 different settings. Test button, volume control. So when you heard it here, and again, very difficult to judge how it sounds as far as volume based on a YouTube video. But I have it set on about half. So again, it depends on where your speakers are set on your phone or computer. But it sounds great. And the reason I chose this particular brand was because it's a Bulova, and so you have the Bulova name recognition on it, which really, you know, these things aren't Bulova movements or anything like that. These are just probably generic quartz movements they find for, you know, that are used in hundreds and hundreds of clocks. It wasn't really, you know, a concern to me. I didn't want something that was super expensive, and sky's the limit when it comes to clocks and grandfather clocks. So the price is right. It looks good. It sounds good, and I absolutely love it. Now, it is powered by 1 AA battery and 2 C-size batteries. I believe The AA might be for, and I'm guessing here, might be for keeping time, and of course the C's might be to swing the pendulum. I don't think the pendulum actually has any effect on the time whatsoever. It's more decorative. Traditionally, a clock that is mechanical, the pendulum is the physics behind it is that the pendulum actually plays a role. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, clock professionals, in maintaining the spring life, right, or the maintaining the wind on the spring. I believe that's how it works. Don't quote me on it. I should have just looked it up before I did the video, but that's my understanding. I know with the other clock I have downstairs, if it's running fast or slow, you actually adjust a screw on the bottom of the pendulum to adjust, I believe, how far it swings. I think. So pretty interesting. You know, clocks are kind of a new thing for me. I think there's nothing quite classier than a beautiful clock on the wall. And again, you can spend thousands of dollars. If you're in the market for something and you want something more vintage, definitely encourage you to check out Craigslist. I did find a vintage, it's a remake or an authorized licensed remake of kind of an older, I forget the brand of it, but it looks just like the real deal. And to be honest with you, the manufacturing is probably, it's almost one-to-one from the original antique model, which will run you about $600 if you were able to find one. Mine, I got for 50 bucks on Craigslist. This one here, 120 to 140. You may find it cheaper, you may find it more expensive. Again, I will put the links in the description where you can find this particular clock. And of all the ones I've seen, again, I really chose this one because I was able to hear what it sounded like. A lot of the other clocks I heard have more of a digitized New Westminster sound. So they sound, I'm trying to put this in comparison here, they kind of sound like something you might hear out of a children's toy. You know, it just doesn't sound like it's a real bell going off. Where this, they've duplicated the sound pretty well in my opinion, and I think you'd be hard-pressed if you were in another room, you know, and you didn't actually see the clock. If you heard this go off, you would actually think that those were real bells going off. So pretty cool. I love the quality of it. I think it looks fantastic. It's accurate, it works, and I really like this setting where you can you know, have it be quiet between 11 p.m. and 5:45 a.m. You can turn it completely off too if you know, work odd hours. Of course, I don't know why you'd want to. I mean, obviously sleep is important, but the only thing I would say about it is it'd be kind of cool for people who maybe do work odd hours to maybe have the ability to change that night setting to what you want, you know. And I'm sure there are clocks out there that have that ability. With this one, you're set from 11 p.m. to 5:45 a.m. So if you work nights, it's, you know, you might want to turn it off. But again, cool thing is you have the volume. You can turn it way down. For me, based on the clocks that I have, my newest clock that's downstairs, I opted to put that downstairs because it's always going to go off. And I don't want that thing waking me up, right? And it's pretty loud. With this, I have that setting. I can turn on the volume. So just kind of think about that depending on where you want to put a clock. You know, if you're going to put one in your bedroom, you might want to find something with the ability to turn it down or to turn it off at night. So I guess changes I would think on that would just be that particular setting to be able to adjust the night mode, or the switch to turn that completely off. It would be kind of nice if they had maybe that on the side, almost like a snooze button, or you could press that and maybe it would be like a 8-hour delay. You know, I think that would be a really great addition. Whereas, all right, time to go to bed, no matter what time it is, you press that button, and for 8 hours, it'll go into silent mode no matter when you press it. So I think that would be a pretty cool addition on the clock. I don't know if anybody makes anything, just my mind thinking. But overall, amazing clock, really happy with it. And I think for you Invicta collectors, you watch guys, if you don't have a clock, I gotta tell you, I don't know why I waited so long, right? It's just, it's a no-brainer for us watch collectors. Now, getting back to the different clocks out there, you know, there's so many different brands out there, and I will say it's one thing I don't like about the Invicta clocks. I wish Invicta made something a little more classy like this, because what I find about Invicta, and I don't want to make this about Invicta, but what I find about Invicta is that even though their watches are, a lot of them, really over the top, there's still an element of class to them, you know. When I look at their wall clocks, although they are kind of cool novelties of having a giant Venom watch on your wall, to me, I just don't really like the way that looks. To me, it's more childlike. It's more something you might find in a teenager's room. Again, not insulting anybody's style. Always do what makes you happy, do what you like. They're just personally not my style. I have seen some Seikos, Bulovas, not grandfather style, just standard clocks that have an element of class to them. You know, the Rolex ones are pretty classy. You have a Submariner clock. Looks pretty cool if you are a Submariner fan or a Rolex fan. So I wish Invicta would do something a little more along the lines of maybe just making the clocks round. And sure, duplicate your favorite model, but get rid of the lugs. I just don't like that on the clock. And I didn't want to make this video about that, but just because some of you guys are going to comment and say, Invicta makes clocks, and they do, but I would not hang one on my wall. They're just not my style. This is pretty classy. So it would be pretty cool if Invicta started branching off into maybe doing something like this, more grandfather style, more classy clocks that, if Invicta did it would be great. So, I don't know, just food for thought. So, anyway, guys, let me know if you have any questions. I'll do my best to help to answer those. Again, I think you'll really like it if you pick one up. I mean, no matter where you live, you can add this to your home. It's about 3.75 in depth, so not a super deep clock. You can see I have it near my couch here, and it's not, not protruding. Some of the other ones can get pretty thicker, like the one downstairs I got. It's probably about that thick, so you wouldn't want to put it, in a situation like this. But again, do what makes you happy. That's about it, guys. Super happy with it. Great Christmas gift from my amazing mom and dad, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you do like the content. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day. Take care.